but some local authorities are considering piloting a 4-day week with staff still getting paid for 5. One of them is Bassett Law, which said it's looking at all options to ensure maintaining healthy staffing levels.
Well, I think it's absolutely ridiculous. You know, if the fact here is you're getting paid 5 days, but only expected to come into the office for 4 days,
not just not coming to the office, only work 4 days.
Only work 4 days. Well, it's absolutely ridiculous. And here we see, I know in Bassett Law, it's a Labour-run council that are wanting to bring this out. We saw in the run-up to the 2019 election, Jeremy Corbyn want to float this idea in terms of putting it into his manifesto. How do you explain to constituents if you're wanting to get value for taxpayers' money for a local authority to be able to deliver for them, but yet say to them, we're going to have a 20% reduction in the amount of work that your council is going to be doing? So I'm absolutely opposed to these plans because I think productivity will be reduced, and this just illustrates how out of touch Labour are with what people's priorities are in terms of delivery on the ground.
Let's let Fabian
You didn't listen to what I said. My point was that if the measure must be the productivity, if in 4 days a worker does the work they would do in 5 days or more, then surely that's better value for money. It doesn't matter how many days they work. If they're getting through the work because they're happier, they're more content, they're more driven, then that is value for money for the taxpayer.
I really don't see how anybody.
What we're saying.
I really do not see how anybody who is getting paid 5 days a week, but only by the taxpayer, may I add, that is then only expected to come into the office and work for 4 days a week. You can then justify increased productivity. It's certainly something I will not support.
Measure the productivity before you make a judgment on it. That's what I would say.
Let me ask this. I mean, the council's argument is they're struggling to recruit people, and they say this is something that actually would mean lots of people might look at council jobs and go, I might consider that.
Well, I certainly do not think that any of my constituents would want Bradford Council, if they were to bring out this experiment, to reduce the working hours to 4 days a week. We can't even get a good enough service from Labour-run Bradford Council as it is.